Help animals during a day of giving for SPCA Monterey County. Give now or start fundraising at spcamc.org and tune in to KSBW 8 and Central Coast ABC to see how your compassion makes a difference for rescued pets in need. A Day of Giving airs Thursday, March 6th from 6 to 8 p.m. Visit spcamc.org to donate or to learn more. Join us for A Day of Giving all day Thursday, March 6th, and help local animals rescued by your SPCA Monterey County.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of SPCA Stories. Hope you are all doing well. If you are new to us, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Dawn Fenton, SPCA Monterey County Content and Education Manager. We are coming to you from the SPCA Monterey County Claire Jacobson Learning Center in beautiful Salinas, California. My guest this time is Ben Shaw, Shelter Manager at SPCA Monterey County. Ben manages the inner workings of the shelter facility and the people who tend to and care for our shelter pets. He is also one of the kindest people you could ever meet. A quick note to some of our more sensitive listeners: delicate topics such as surrendering a beloved pet, humane euthanasia, and compassion fatigue do come up, so please take care while listening. So Ben, what is your title?
I am the shelter manager here.
And you've been at the SPCA for how long?
Let's see. I started in May 2016. So that's coming up on almost 9 years.
That's a good long time.
I know. It's kind of crazy to look back. I see my original staff photo. It's like, who is that guy?
Mine is the same. I had super long hair.
I think I've seen photos of you with very long hair.
I had very long hair, and it was down to my elbows. And
wow, that is long.
I don't have any hair.
I was going to say, I think since I've been here, for sure, you've always had the short hair. Mm-hmm. So that's how I've known you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw my picture was like shorter beard, no gray at all. So I was like, oh my God. That kid, young kid.
Oh my goodness. Well, and so you've done a lot of different jobs here, right?
Yeah. Started with animal care. That was what I was hired on to do, was animal care. So started on animal care, cleaning and feeding all the animals here, doing behavior assessments and making them available for adoption and all sorts of things with the dogs and cats. And then I transitioned to more of like the health evaluators. So giving medications, working with the veterinarians to, do exams on our animals, making surgery schedules for those animals to get spayed or neutered, things like that. And then after that is when I kind of transitioned into more managerial roles. So animal care supervisor, supervising all the animal care team. And then after that is when I finally became shelter manager, which included the animal care as well as the customer care team. So the whole shelter, dog and cat world.
So what do you love about your job?
I love a lot of things. I love I feel like everybody says it, but I love being able to work with animals. I always wanted to work with animals. I feel like in some way, I just never knew exactly how that would be. And I honestly didn't think I would be at an animal care shelter, but here I am and I love it. But working with the animals every day, and it doesn't mean I'm like playing with the animals, but seeing them and helping them, making good connections, helping people, helping my staff. I like to help my staff grow and learn, and help them throughout their days.
Yeah, our staff is pretty great.
Yeah, they really are.
It's pretty great.
They do a lot.
So I'm going to get a little personal here. You have a baby. Mm-hmm. You've got, she just had a birthday, right?
Just turned 1.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
She is beautiful. And so your spouse, did you guys meet here?
Yes, we did. Yes.
Oh my goodness. SPCA, making love connections.
Yep.
Tell me about that.
Well,
if
yeah.
you can, whatever you want.
I started first, and then she started second. So we knew each other for a while, just working with each other here, because she didn't start here, then we instantly started dating. It took a while. We were coworkers for a long time before we kind of made the jump. But ever since she started here, I knew she was a special person.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. She's pretty great. So, and obviously I feel like I have to say this. You guys don't you don't manage her, right?
No,
You're kind of like in separate departments.
Yeah,
so
it's got to be separate.
You know, so just throwing it out there to the people.
And we both got to work. I mean, we work with a lot of the same animals, and she's our foster coordinator, so she works with kittens and dogs and puppies and all sorts of animals that go to our foster homes. But yes, she's not under my direction.
Yes. So, and you have a beautiful little baby girl.
Yep, little Audrey.
So yeah, she's gorgeous.
I know, SPCA family.
Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, yeah, that's amazing.
It is
that's
cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's literally in the family.
Yep,
Here we are.
And we're very lucky that way.
So do you have pets at home?
We do. We have 3 cats and a dog, and all came from here.
All came from here.
Yes, all came from here.
So, and I get this question a lot when I meet people and they're like, so you must have so many animals. And it's like, well, no, I just have three dogs at home.
I know, that's not a crazy amount, right?
At one time I had 5 dogs, that was a little crazy. But, so tell me about your pets. Tell me who you got.
Let's see. So we have 3, like I said, 3 cats and a dog. We had, before my wife and I got together, we each had our own pets. Mm-hmm. So my wife had a little chocolate cat. So she got her first, adopted her. She was living with her. And then I had my 2 cats. So they're 2 boys. My wife's cat was Nora. Mine are Wally and Alfred. So we had 1 male, 1 female, 2 males, and so one's a Maine Coon. One of mine is a Maine Coon. One is a tuxedo. We merged them together into one house. So then we had 3 cats, and
so the blended family.
Blended family, and then we got the dog. While how long have we had McCoy? I feel like over 2 years now.
He's so cute.
Yeah,
he comes to work with you.
He does. He comes every day. Well, actually, not today. Most days he comes with me.
He's very cute.
Yeah.
So people always say, well, how do you know that? Because you were around animals all day. How did you pick that one? What was it about McCoy?
Oh, boy. You know, actually, it was my wife who picked him because I was actually sick at home. I think I had COVID.
Oh, no.
So I couldn't be at work, and my wife was fine. She was quarantining herself at home. Mm-hmm. So this was only, I think this was a couple years after COVID had started. So he came in, and literally the first afternoon he was here, he was like a little puppy. I didn't even think he was old enough to be, adopted out at that point. So we're like, we'll take him home and foster him until he's ready.
Oh, I think he may have been a telethon.
I think he was
pet.
Actually. Yeah.
So, the telethon, we'll talk about that a whole other time. That's like a whole episode on its own. But yes, he was. He was.
That's right. Because he came in like late. It was like February or something when he came in. So I think it was right when we knew we could use him for like the telethon day. Yeah.
No, very, very cute. So just a cool little dog.
Yeah.
Very adorable.
It was pretty special. I don't even think he spent a night in the shelter, actually. She saw him that day.
Straight to foster.
Yes. He was lucky. He's one of the lucky ones.
Yeah. But he's a sweetie. So when you meet new people, and you tell them, you have those basic, like, hey, my name is so-and-so. What do you do? How do you describe your job?
Well, when I say I work at the SPCA, it's an animal shelter. I mostly say that I manage the team that directly takes care of, the dogs and cats and kittens and puppies we have in care. So, our animal care team and our customer care team. And then I also help manage basically the flow of animals through the shelters. So I help keep animals going through and making sure they're not lagging, see what they need, and kind of help them move in different directions so they can get out of here.
Yeah. So how do people respond?
Most people are, I would say they're probably impressed and kind of like, I don't think they've met many people that work in animal shelters, I would say. So they're kind of very curious about the inner workings and how things work.
Yeah, I bet. So, did you have animals as a kid?
Yep. Let's see what we had. We had a cat first, and I think we got it from like a pet store back in the day. We definitely didn't go to a shelter. I remember that. We got a cat from a pet store, and then we got. I had a turtle. My brother had some parakeets, And then we got the dog, the family dog.
So you had a little of everything.
Little smorgasbord, yeah. Just not the big animals.
Was there a pet that you had, or an animal that you had in your life that sort of that is near and dear to your heart, and maybe inspired your direction towards animal welfare?
Definitely wasn't my cat, because she was kind of mean. So she was one of those cats that was very particular. But it's funny, since working here, I always thought, like, I had a lot of friends that had nice cats, and then ours was very, like, what we would call it kind of like a high arousal cat here, and under socialized. But like my friends couldn't really touch her, but she would want to be on our lap sometimes, but you could only pet her like 3 times, even us. And then after 3 of those, she had enough, like she couldn't handle it. So I've seen cats like that here, and I'm like, now I know, like, some cats are just like that. Like, that's just her. But I would say probably my dog, our family dog growing up, was a huge part of me and my brother's lives, because we always wanted a dog. We were always begging my parents for a dog, and then we finally got a dog on like Christmas morning type of a thing, a boxer. So
nice. What was the name?
Maggie. Yeah.
That's sweet.
And she lived till she was 13.
Wow.
So we had her for a while. It was awesome. We had her through high school. I think she passed away when I was in college, so I was able to come back home and be with her during that process too.
Yeah.
So she was special.
So what did you want to be when you grew up, when you were a kid? What did you want to be?
I don't think I ever knew. I feel like I was that kid. I was like, I want to be like a, football player or something, but like never went anywhere with that. I didn't really know for a long time. I feel like I always had like little interests that, or little hobbies that I liked, but I was definitely one of those kids through high school, middle school and high school and college, where I just was trying to figure things out. Yeah. And that figuring me out kind of led me here, which was nice.
Well, good. Well, and here you are.
I know.
And look at that. See, you come here, you've got a great career working with animals and people, great people, and you found the love of your life. Wow. I know.
This place really did it all for me.
Nowhere else to be. This is the place to go. So did you have anyone, did you have a mentor?
Definitely, since working here. Yeah. Jenny, my boss, Jenny Morales, has been a very big, huge help to me in my career, for sure. She was the one, she's the vice president of the shelter and vet services here. And she's definitely kind of helped guide me since I was in animal care. She was one of the ones who interviewed me when I first started working here. And she's kind of helped guide me through to become, a supervisor and manager, and help me with my growth, because I'd never been a manager before I was here. I've never managed people in my life before I started here. So I had a lot to learn, and she always available for a phone call, always there to help. So
she's great. She is great. What's a really good day like for you?
Probably when it's not super busy, but there's still, animals going out the door, being adopted into new families. Those are always good days when you come in the next morning and you see our board of who's been adopted, their little pet portfolios with their descriptions, and you go up to the board and you see who's finally left and gone into a home. That always starts off the day well. Yeah. But just getting work done, making sure everybody's, doing what they need to do, making sure everybody's happy, making sure all the animals are kind of moving through. Those are always good days. And
we don't, so we don't put time limits on the pets in our care, which is pretty amazing. So yeah, sometimes we do have those long-term residents who kind of hang out for a few months. And what we do with social media and all those things is we try to find new and creative ways to get the word out, especially about those guys who've been here for a couple of months. Do you have a favorite adoptable right now?
Ooh, let's see. I'm trying to think. I know I feel like I've talked about this in our management team meetings, but we talked about Fiona, the obese cat that left not that long ago. She was a long-time resident. But who's still here? Let me think. There's always a couple that I would love to see get into homes. It's mostly dogs right now that I think have been lingering a little longer. Luna, the 8-year-old husky, is one who's been a super nice dog, but huskies in general aren't always the easiest adoptions. And then having an 8-year-old one on top of that definitely makes it harder. But she's a very nice, healthy dog, that's for sure. And then Chuki, our little behavior dog, has been here a very long time.
Yes.
Very sweet dog, but again, he's not the easiest one either because he just can be a little bit too excited with people, which makes it hard too because he's a big boy. So when you have a big boy trying to, mouth your hands when you're taking him out for a walk because he's so excited, it makes things a little hard.
Right.
But, yeah, those ones will be good days when we see their name up on the board.
Yep, absolutely. We're going to take a little bit of a turn. What's a difficult day like?
Difficult day is probably when things aren't working out the way you planned it out that day. I feel like there's been some days where it's been like, okay, I don't have much on my plate. And then you find out that there's a dog that's been here for a little while. It's passed its behavior assessments and the vets are checking it out to see if it's ready for surgery and it has something very wrong medically that we can't treat. It's a dog that's been here for a while and volunteers like and staff likes.
Yeah.
We've had some of those recently where it's been dogs on the floor that have been here for a while and they had a chronic injury that they kind of hid from us for a little while. That makes it hard. The times when we have really kind of difficult customers always makes it hard too. Or just when we have those days when, staff have been a little bit shorthanded because, people are on vacations or people are out sick or we're hiring new staff and it's just been kind of runs people a little thin when we have to be a little bit short. That makes things hard too.
And I'm sure it's tough when you have those days where you have a, maybe just a difficult customer or a difficult situation and you're shorthanded and, and it's thin and very hard to kind of be able to step back and take a breath because you're it. You're short staffed and then maybe it piles on.
Yeah, that's how it is sometimes. I feel like it's not just one thing in one day. It's just like stuff just keeps like, okay, we did that. Let's see how we can deal with this. And it's like, oh, hey, one of our staff calls and we got this going on. It's like, okay, we got that now too. So how do we deal with that? And then sometimes it just keeps going.
So one of the things that and here we go, because I usually say this a lot earlier, but we just kind of jumped right in. And because I like to give everyone something that I've noticed, a compliment. And I feel like you're a very calming presence. And I mean, I just, from what I see, that you are just easy to approach. And when you have those bad days, you're reassuring, just your presence. So I wanted to tell you that. And that's, so thank you for that. And I'm sure your staff appreciates, your presence. If I can get a little hippy-skippy. Sorry about that.
No,
that's just Dawn.
I appreciate you saying that. That I really like to hear that because I try to make it as easy as possible on my staff and have it so they're not feeling so down about days like that too. I know it's impossible for me not to have them. They have to feel some of that. It's impossible not to, but I definitely like to try to ease some of that off of them.
Well, because compassion fatigue is a real thing. It's a real, honest to God problem. And I can't imagine, having those tough days and then having maybe a couple of those tough days in a row.
Yeah, snowballs. Yeah.
And it snowballs and we burn out. It's very easy to burn out. And that's how you lose people. You lose really good people. Or you see people hurt that really don't deserve it. And so that's got to be tough. How do you, when you have a bad day or a string of bad days, what's the self-care like? What do you do for yourself?
What do I do? I feel like just spending time with my family, zoning out and trying not to think about work by focusing on reading some books, watching some movies, going out to dinner with my wife and child. Just trying to I feel like since I've been here, able to practice not thinking about work as much outside of work. But it definitely, I feel like that takes practice because when there's something on my mind, it tends to stick there. But I feel like I've been trying to work with that and playing video games, doing my hobbies. That definitely helps me kind of take my mind off it because I'm focused on something else.
Well, another thing that might be helpful is knowing that you have a team that's behind you, and that's one of the things that I've I love about this place is that that management, upper management, they're all on our side, and they're they want to help too. Mm-hmm. So that's always nice.
Yeah, I feel like we have a very good, everybody in our organization is always like got everybody's back. People will help with anything, which is very nice. And I feel like the whole shelter team is like that too. Everybody helps each other. Customer care will help animal care. Animal care helps customer care. Managers help the team. We've got a good team.
Yeah, when we have a disaster, we're all, we all put on different hats and, do whatever we need to do. Mm-hmm. What have you learned about yourself over these last 9 years?
Let's see. That I can do a lot of things, and that I really like to learn and be hands-on, and that I can manage people. I've always been kind of like definitely on the more shyer side and introverted type of a personality. So like, I feel like being that way and being a manager, you get thrown in out of your comfort zone a little bit because you have to deal with people a lot. You have to deal with difficult conversations a lot, and especially being in the customer service world of that too, having difficult conversations with the customers and talking with a lot of different people who aren't always very happy. I feel like that it's not something that I thought maybe I would be good at, but it's definitely something I've learned to do, and I'm proud of myself for doing here. Because it is not easy sometimes.
No. So is that something that surprised you?
A little bit, yeah. And like, I think how, like, I was able to just kind of jump in and do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because I was, having to do those for the first time, it's like, oh my gosh, what am I getting into?
Is there a myth about SPCA Monterey County that you would love to dispel?
Probably a couple. I feel like people just always think we just like play around with the animals. Like people think you get to play with puppies and kittens all day. It's like, no, not really. Or that just like, we don't care what's happening sometimes. I feel like there's, we're just an organization trying to like, get our fees and get our money and things like that. It's like, I feel like people just, especially on the, customer side of it, intake side or adoption fees, they think we're just like trying to make a buck off these animals or something. And it's like, no, we pretty much lose money off of all these animals. Yeah. Like our fees have nothing, they don't cover our costs at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just the food alone is crazy to think about. The amount of food we have to give all these guys.
Yeah, people, I could see where that would be something we'd want people to know is that we're not just hanging out playing with the puppies. There's actually, you guys are evaluating them, and there's sometimes a lot of medical care that needs to happen, or
lots of
cleaning. Yes, absolutely. Again, 4,000 to 5,000 animals a year. That's a lot. That's a lot of cleaning.
Yeah, half of my animal care team's day is cleaning and feeding.
Yeah,
literally 4 hours of their 8-hour workday.
Absolutely. And the fees, it's we put there's a lot of love and a lot of work and a lot of care put into the animals, and like you said, the fee, it doesn't even cover what it actually is.
What we put into it.
Yeah, exactly. So, who do you talk to when you feel stuck? If you ever feel stuck?
Definitely my wife. Yeah. When she's the one I talk to if I'm feeling, I don't know, down or need somebody to kind of hear me out. If I have a work problem I need to go through though, then it's definitely when I talk to Jenny, because she's always the one that can help guide me, because I feel like she's been through it all here. She's been here for it's been 20 years, I think.
Yeah, I think we started close to the same time. Yeah. She was before me, and I've been here 16.
Yeah, so. I think she's like, if she's not at 20, she's right on the cusp, but she's been through it all. So I feel like if I have a work question, she's got all the answers.
She's seen it all.
Yes.
Probably.
And she's been through like different versions of the SPCA. I mean, it was a lot different when she started to where we're at. So she's seen it all and been through it all. And she can help. She's seen all the different types of people to deal with. And so. Yeah.
She's, for sure. I mean, we've had lots of changes. Just even in the last couple of years, there's been a lot of changes. And she's seen it all. So that would make sense. What do you think success looks like? Yeah.
That's kind of a hard one. I mean, because I feel like as a shelter, you want to be a success that like there's no animals that need our help, which is kind of like a impossible task to get to, it feels like sometimes. But I think for us, it's like success as an animal shelter is making sure everybody is cared for properly, making sure everybody is comfortable, making sure all the animals are, able to move out and through the shelter quickly and adopt out as many as possible. It's just, I feel like that's success, to do what you can for the animals that are here.
Yeah, I like that. I like it a lot. What's it like? What is your staff like? Tell me what it's like to work with all of them.
They're a fun group. I feel like we've got a really good group right now where they can have fun with each other. We can have fun with them. They get their work done. They enjoy doing their work. We enjoy talking about all the animals and, seeing who's done what. But I feel like just personality wise, we have a really good, solid, dependable group, and people all just kind of get along, which is really, like, sometimes I don't want to take that for granted, because I feel like I've had some groups where they don't all get along.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It makes things so much harder in a job like this. So I feel like right now, and we've also had some longevity too, which I haven't always had in my teams. Animal care, I feel like, tends to be a team and customer care, it's like a very jump into the shelter world type of job. And so people, get experience here, they go off to other things in the world, other veterinary positions and, a private clinic, or they get poached by different departments here and they move on. But I feel like right now we've had ones that have definitely stuck around, which really helps not only me and Peter as managers, but it helps the animals too, because they know what to do. They get the animals going.
And they get more and more experience under their belt. And I think that's also a testament to you guys and your management style, and especially in an environment like this.
Yes.
Where the work is not always easy. And this is what I think you do, Ben, is that I think you make people feel comfortable enough to be themselves and to express whatever they need to express. It's very difficult when you are around people that you don't feel comfortable doing that in an environment like this one, where there are good days and there are days that are not so great or difficult. So good for you. I mean, I really think that's, you create that environment.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to function if we weren't like that.
And once again, we come back to compassion fatigue.
Yeah.
If you keep everything bottled up and you don't have an outlet to express yourself or express how you're feeling, it bottles up and you fizzle.
Yep.
And that's, we want to keep those people, longevity.
Yeah. We
want to keep people, we want to keep them here.
Yep.
And keep them growing. It's impressive. And again, it's this whole podcast is I want to make sure people know about the people who work here and who do the work, because kindness, man.
Yeah, and we don't always hear, you're doing a great job type of a thing. In our everyday work. It's not a lot of customers that come into intake are going to be telling us that type of thing. But we do hear from adoption customers quite a bit. I feel like I love hearing those.
A side story, very brief. I had a friend who was, and I've witnessed this before, where I've had friends who've had their pet is at that point where it's time, and so I'll tell them what to do, come in, and the staff is so kind, and it makes a huge difference, huge difference to the person who's having a really bad day. They're losing one of their best friends or family members. And so it's so important. And you don't always hear from those people who've had a great experience.
Yeah, I would agree. I feel like you don't hear a lot of people, given a 5-star rating because of their euthanasia experience. But I think that when you do get those, that they are definitely more special and they mean a lot. And it kind of sounds weird when I say that, that's one of the parts of the job that I really enjoy, because I don't know, it is one of the hardest decisions of somebody's life with their pet. And it's really nice to be there, and especially not to be so financially accessible, to be easy to schedule an appointment, to have people be able to stay with their animal, to be able to give them, a paw print when they leave. It's, I don't know. I remember my own experiences with pets. It is kind of special to be able to be there for somebody else that way.
So yeah, the work is good. The work is good.
It's rewarding.
So absolutely, that's the best word for it, is rewarding. So what are your hopes for the future of animal welfare in our county?
I don't know, just to keep being able to help as many animals as possible. It's pretty special when we're able to kind of expand some of the things we're able to do and help more. Like being able to expand our spay-neuter services with our mobile has been pretty special. Being able to reach community members that can't make the drive to us because we are a pretty large county. It's pretty cool. Yeah. But being able to kind of find new ways to help, I think, has really been kind of fascinating of my time here. So I think it'd be great to find some new ways of being able to do that. Now, I'm not sure what that is yet, but it's always, we got a lot of great minds working here, so it's cool to be able to kind of work together and see what we can do.
What advice would you give someone who's interested in animal welfare, interested in working with us?
Honestly, volunteering is a great way to start because it's not as much of a commitment to see if it's something you enjoy, and you do get to try some of the things that are involved with working here. Not just if you walk dogs or hang out with cats, but you can help clean with staff in the mornings and things like that. So you can kind of get a sense of what's involved. And you can see our staff helping customers and see what's involved in that. And you could even be the one helping a customer and see if that's something you enjoy. But I think volunteering is a good way to start. I started out at different organizations just volunteering as well, internships, or just apply. Just apply when there's an open job. You never know. You don't always have to have, an extensive amount of dog and cat experience before working a job like this, but being able to learn and being comfortable with those animals is what you really need. Definitely a go-getter attitude helps.
Yes, it does. It does. So I just want to thank you for your time and your expertise, and I learned a lot today.
I appreciate it.
I learned a lot, which is a really wonderful thing to do. Learning is good.
Yeah,
Learning
it is good. It was fun. Thank you for having me.
Well, you're going to come back.
Uh-oh.
I know there's, I'm sure we will find a way, Ben, to bring you back.
Part two.
Part two. I really do appreciate your time. Thank you so much for everything that you do.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you all for tuning in. We would love to hear from you. If you have questions for us, please email us at info@spcamc.org. Please put podcast question or something like that in the subject line so your question can be directed to me. You can find more information about all of the programs and services we provide at our website, www.spcamc.org. A tremendous thank you to all SPCA staff, volunteers, and board of directors, an incredibly supportive, compassionate, kind, and involved group of wonderful and talented people who work tirelessly and endlessly to care for the animals in our community. And a special, heartfelt thank you, of course, to our generous, loving supporters. We at SPCA Monterey County could not do what we do for the animals and people in our community without you. If you would like to support us, and that would be most appreciated and amazing, you can find that information at spcamc.org. If you are so inclined, please drop a like or give us a rating on whatever platform you tune in on. We strive to continue our reach far and wide, and those ratings definitely help. Dawn Fenton here, signing off until next time. Much unconditional love to you and your pets from us here at SPCA Monterey County.